So I play Forza 4 in my spare time. They recently released a Lamborghini Aventador on it, and I really liked it. So I decided I wanted to shoot it. And so tomorrow, we're going to. My name is Blair Bunting, and I'm a commercial photographer. Right now we're in Loft 19 Studios, and we're going to shoot a Lamborghini today and teach you guys how to light it. I'm known more for people photography, everything from Mike Tyson to football players to Deadliest Catch to Mythbusters, Darrell Revis, the cover of Billboard magazine with Bret Michaels naked. I mean, it's not really much of a car thing, although I do shoot ad campaigns. I've shot for GM. I love photographing cars to make fine art or to just make prints. It's not something that I want to have, shots of a bunch of moving cars or I shoot car to car or anything like that. I more or less look at shooting cars as what would I want to put on my wall. With the Aventador, it's so new that we don't have many existing pictures of it besides maybe a couple of shots that the Lamborghini made, and half the time those are CG anyway. I didn't really want to look at the shots that other people have shot of it, so I bought a video game, Forza 4, and started to look at the car on the game. So a lot of people actually might find this funny, but I go to Forza 4 so I can walk around the car, our free look mode, and actually plan lighting schemes. You can tell with the Lamborghini we actually have a really hard edge and a good shoulder line, and I can tell by how I look on the free look mode where I need to place the Chimera tomorrow, because it's a 30-foot light bank that's actually going to hit down on the car, but if I place it too far forward, I'm actually going to light up the front of the car and wash away all the details. And I also see that it has deep tires, and I see that it has vents in the front and the rear that I really want to accent. So this free look mode is actually quite beneficial and shouldn't be overlooked when actually planning your lighting out. With the Lamborghini, it had a very distinct shoulder line, pretty much a wedge that came down the back of it. So we used, it was just called for a 30-foot Chimera, something large, source light that actually would just paint that line right down the car. One easy way to really conceptualize how you're going to do your lighting on the car is to kind of look at this model car. It's not the exact car, but what you can see is when I hold the light here, you can see the shoulder line, and if I push it too far forward, it lights up the tires and everything becomes bland. Too close, too bright. Too far away, and it's not really going to do much, no directional light. Even though this car is different than the Lamborghini because the Lamborghini is a lot more angular and this is a lot more curvy, being a Porsche, you still can see that the guys who designed this car have a hard shoulder line, just like the Lamborghini. It's one of the most profound statements on a car. So we want to make sure that we define the shoulder line while still actually keeping light the wheels and the rims on the side of the car. I don't have grid spots on me, but what we'll actually do is point in grid spots on the wheels front and back, and then actually the back part of the car and the front part of the car, because we want to make sure that the car is rounded by light, and then maybe light up a few vents and details that are on the side of the car that we see. The softbox is up and mounted. What we're doing right now is we're just tying ropes so that we can angle the softbox so that we can have a different kind of angle of attack with light. Originally we had planned to just shoot a shot that out of camera, had that contrast, had a final feel, but if I was going to deliver that kind of file to my retoucher, I would have made his job a lot harder because he would have to go back into those shadows and create detail that didn't exist. So we decided we would actually light the car so all the detail is there for him to then work with and then actually be able to manipulate. Even though we are going to shoot this car on a white background, in post we're actually going to more or less pull that out and create a black and white scheme that uses the Lamborghini as neutral gray and the lines of it to actually interact with that paint scheme. So what we're going to start with is just your overhead shot. It's usually very good looking because it's very dramatic. It's one light. It will paint the line down the car and it'll also give you an established body of the car. It's masking, it's simulating the sun on a really cloudy day, but in all reality it will cast shadows straight down. So for the first shot is just our overhead Chimera bank. We're going to turn on this light to start to kick in the detail in the tire. The black is not going to actually pick up much detail because it's a painted black rim, but we'll start to get more detail on the brake and the brake caliper. So you'll see it in this shot. We have a really nice tire, but we needed to still have a little bit more detail in the back. It was a little bit flat in the original shot because it didn't get picked up from the Chimera. So we'll turn on this and actually get a little bit of a highlight in the rear of the car. We're going to turn on this head and light up the tire. Again, same as the rear, it's going to have a little bit more light on the caliper, a little bit more light on the brake, but the wheel really doesn't take too much difference in texture because it's a black wheel. For the next shot, we are going to turn on this light, like we did, or like we're going to do with the rear as well. It's just going to light up the front of the car, giving a little bit to the headlight and then a little bit to the fin right here, and then also kind of emphasizing the air intakes on the front of the car. The intake on the side of the car was a little bit dark, and so we just want to put a little bit more light into it. So we put this little guy here with a 20-degree filter, or grid spot, and then it will just add in a little bit of light so that this airbox actually has a little bit more depth to it. In total, we've used only 9 lights to actually light up the car. We have 4 in the bank overhead and then grid spots, and those will pretty much take in the details. It's not a hard shot to do. It's an easy car to light. What do you do if you don't have $60,000 to throw away on a lighting kit or a Chimera or Profoto heads? You are not out of luck. You actually can do pretty much the exact same thing with a single light, a softbox. We just happen to have a battery-powered light right now, but you can do it with a 60-watt bulb plugged into a softbox on a stick. You just have to know what you're doing. You just really want to aim for the car's lines, and you want to just make really as smooth a sweep as possible. Is the outcome the same? No, but it's pretty damn close. I've shot cars like a Shelby Daytona Coupe and a Porsche 935 doing the exact same thing. One light on a stick and a light bulb. Good.
My name is Scott Dorman, and I'm the owner of Small Dog Imageworks. It's a retouching studio based out of Atlanta, Georgia. This project didn't really start out with a plan other than Blair wanting to light it a certain way and then handing it off and letting me, add my personal touch to it. So we really didn't have an end in sight. We just wanted to explore and try different backgrounds, try different looks, try different techniques until we settled upon something that we liked for a finished piece. I just wanted to enhance the angles and the planes of this car. I mean, it is so angular, and all the detail was there. I just had to pull it out. So when I looked at the car, I wanted to increase the contrast. I wanted to enhance all those lights and darks to really make the shapes, each individual shape, pop. And there's about five or six different backgrounds that we've been trying. I think the original idea was having it shot on just a plain, clean background, either a white or a black. Then it changed to a seamless sweep. Then it changed to the Bonneville Salt Flats, and then it changed to in front of a tent. Every one of these backgrounds works. It's just a matter of which one do you like the best. The current version that we're working with right now, which may change, is this shot right here. It's a metal background of a building that Blair found in Vegas on location. We don't have the ground. As you know, it was photographed in a studio on white, and our idea right now is to find a good piece of asphalt or a good piece of concrete, something that's nice and polished that has the crisp edges that we're looking for to complete the image.
Fast car.
Then instantly it's like, oh, we are in danger mode here.